Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something pretty amazing?
Yeah, we're talking AI and how it's revolutionizing the world of marketing. Like right now, today, not in the future.
No, not the future, like happening right now.
It's happening right
This is
now.
wild. We're gonna be checking out a blog post from February 12, 2025.
It's called Transforming Marketing with AI Art and Music Generators.
I saw this blog post and I was like, hold on, AI can like make album covers now and like compose jingles. I thought this was like sci-fi stuff.
It's great, right? Yeah, it's moving so fast.
It's happening so fast.
It's insane to think. Like before, you needed a whole team of designers, right?
Yeah.
To put together a visual campaign.
Yeah.
And you needed a recording studio and all this stuff to get audio.
Yeah.
Now, marketers can literally create a whole campaign's worth of visuals and audio in a fraction of the time.
Using AI.
Using AI.
That's incredible. So let's start with AI art generators.
Okay.
The blog post talks about deep AI, which I'd heard of, but I thought it was more for fun.
Right.
Like to make funny pictures, not to use in my business.
Yeah, exactly. And that was kind of how it started, it's sort of a novelty. But the thing is, these tools have gotten so sophisticated. Deep AI uses, something called generative adversarial networks, or GANs.
Yeah.
It's basically two neural networks kind of like competing against each other. One generates images, the other judges them.
Oh, okay.
Until they spit out something that looks like incredibly realistic.
So no more searching for stock photos that are kind of what I want, but not really, or briefing a designer for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Well, it's not necessarily going to completely replace those things, but it's a massive, massive shift in how we can do it.
Right.
Imagine if you need a series of Instagram posts. They all have a consistent visual style, but they're tailored to different products or different audiences. AI can literally do that in minutes.
Oh, wow.
It could save you hours and hours of, design work.
And thousands of dollars.
And potentially thousands of dollars in freelance fees and things like that.
Yeah, the ROI on that is insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty compelling. And the blog post also talks about how AI can actually ensure brand consistency.
Right.
So you don't have to like hope that your banner ad matches the aesthetic of your website.
Exactly. AI can literally analyze your existing branding.
Okay.
Like think colors, fonts, imagery, all of that stuff, and use that as a foundation for generating new content. It's kind of like having a built-in brand guardian, making sure everything stays aligned.
Okay, but it's not just about like making things look pretty, right?
Right.
There's like a deeper level to this. Like I was thinking about how you could like generate images tailored to specific customer demographics, maybe.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is where the true power of AI comes in with that personalization aspect.
Yeah.
So you can imagine sending out direct mail pieces and the visuals are customized to each recipient's age, interests, maybe their past purchases.
Oh, wow.
And that level of tailored marketing, like that can seriously boost engagement.
It's like there's that saying, right? Like a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yeah.
But now it's like the picture's only speaking to one person.
Exactly. And it's speaking directly to them.
That's crazy.
And that level of personalization, it can have a huge impact. We've seen studies that have shown that people are far more likely to remember and respond to marketing messages that feel like they were made just for them.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It taps into our desire to feel seen and understood,
Totally. Okay, so we've talked about the visual side. Now let's get into the music stuff because I was like floored by this part of the blog post.
Yeah.
I can have like my own like royalty-free jingle composed in minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. So tools like freebeat.ai are using AI to compose original music tailored to like your specific needs.
Okay.
So you can select the genre, the mood, the instrument you want, and the AI will generate a track, custom, just for you.
That's wild. So no more scrolling through endless stock music libraries trying to find something that kind of works.
Or paying, exorbitant licensing fees.
Yeah, sign me. But how does it actually work?
Yeah.
Is it just like stitching together like pre-existing loops or?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a little more nuanced than that. So these AI music generators are trained on massive data sets of music.
Oh, okay.
They're learning like the intricacies of melody, harmony, rhythm.
So like all the like theory behind music.
Exactly.
It's understanding all of that.
Exactly. And then they can use that knowledge to create like completely new compositions that are original and copyright free.
So it's not just like copying existing music. It's actually composing something new, something unique to my brand.
Exactly. And you can even give the AI like specific instructions.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So say like, I want a catchy jingle with like a retro vibe for a coffee shop ad.
Okay.
It'll turn out a track that like totally fits the bill.
So instead of just like having, generic background music in my ads and stuff, I can have like a sonic identity that's totally unique to my brand.
And think about the impact of that. Like a custom soundtrack can evoke specific emotions, build brand recognition, even create like a much more immersive experience for your audience.
It's like the difference between like a movie with a generic score and a movie with like a Hans Zimmer score.
Exactly. It completely elevates the entire experience.
Yeah.
And that's what AI is doing for marketing, is bringing this like next level sophistication and personalization to every single touch point.
That's wild. But we've got AI generating like visuals and composing music. But where this gets really interesting, I think, is when you start to combine the two.
Right. That's where the true magic happens. The blog post talks about how freebeat.ai is already working on integrating its art and music generators.
Cool.
So like imagine this. You create a whole campaign, visuals, music, everything with like a consistent aesthetic, all powered by AI.
It's like a whole creative team, like just like that.
Exactly. And this isn't, some far off dream. This is literally happening right now. Like there are companies using AI to create video game characters with unique visuals and voices. E-commerce brands are using AI to personalize product recommendations and even translating their websites for global audiences.
That's crazy.
All with AI. It's pretty remarkable.
Like AI is not just automating tasks, it's like becoming like a partner
Right.
in the creative process.
It is. It's a fundamental shift. And it's like opening up all these crazy opportunities for marketers to create more personalized, immersive, and engaging experiences for their audiences. It's wild.
So we've got AI art generators, music generators, the power of combining the two, but we've only scratched the surface.
Right.
In the next part of our deep dive, we're gonna look at some real world examples of how brands are using these tools.
Yeah, and we'll dive a little deeper into the future of AI in marketing and talk about like how emerging technologies like real-time translators and even more sophisticated illustration tools are going to continue to shape the marketing landscape. It's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be fascinating. Stay tuned. This deep dive is just getting started. Okay, so welcome back. I'm like still processing all the cool stuff we talked about in the last part. AI composing music and like generating art. It's like mind blowing.
Right. Yeah, and we're just getting started. So let's jump into some real world examples of how brands are already using this stuff, like using it right now.
Yeah, because I want to see how it actually works.
Right.
Like in practice, not just in theory.
Exactly. Yeah. The blog post mentioned gaming,
Oh, yeah.
which seems like kind of a natural fit.
Yeah.
Like think about a small indie game studio. They're trying to compete with these huge like AAA game companies.
Right.
And creating like unique characters, environments, like all that can be incredibly time consuming and expensive.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they probably don't have the budget for like huge teams of designers.
Right. And they don't have like months and months to just develop stuff. But now with AI character generators, they can like literally design a whole cast of characters in a fraction of the time.
That's wild.
It's pretty crazy. And it's not just the visuals either. They can use AI voice generators to give those characters like unique voices and dialogue.
So they're coming to life.
They're coming to it's amazing. It kind of levels the playing field.
Yeah.
It gives smaller studios access to these tools that would have been way too expensive before.
So it's not just about efficiency. Like could AI like personalize the gaming experience?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, how?
So think about a game that like adapts to how you play.
Okay.
It adjusts the difficulty, like the storyline, even the characters you encounter based on like the choices you make in the game.
Whoa. That would be incredible.
Right. It's like having a game like tailor-made just for you.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
It's amazing. And that level of personalization, like it just creates this much more immersive experience for players. Makes them feel like they're really a part of the world.
Right. It's not just like the same game for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. The blog post also mentioned e-commerce,
Uh-huh.
which like piqued my interest because we've all seen those like really basic product recommendations online
Right.
that are like so off.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are they recommending this to me? I would never buy this.
Yeah, totally. But AI is changing all that, right?
Yeah, it is. AI is taking like personalization in e-commerce to a whole new level. So instead of just recommending products based on like what you clicked on yesterday, AI can analyze like your past purchases,
Okay.
your social media activity, even like current trends to give you like hyper-personalized recommendations.
So it's like understanding your style, like your preferences, like what you actually want,
Exactly.
not just what you accidentally clicked on.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like having like a personal shopper who just like knows your taste better than you do. And think about the impact on customer satisfaction when you're like constantly getting recommended things that you actually want to buy.
Yeah.
That creates like a way more positive shopping experience.
Makes total sense. It's like building a relationship,
Yeah.
not just like pushing products.
Exactly. And for e-commerce companies that sell globally, AI translation tools are becoming like essential. So imagine you can like instantly translate your entire website,
Okay.
product descriptions, even customer support interactions like into any language.
So you can reach anyone, anywhere.
Anyone, anywhere. There are no language barriers anymore.
That's really powerful.
It's incredibly powerful, and it's not just about translating like the words.
Right.
AI can actually adapt the tone and style of your messaging to different like cultural contexts.
So it's not gonna be like a weird literal translation.
Right.
That doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll help you avoid like those awkward, cultural faux pas.
Yeah.
And make sure your brand message is like being received the way you intended.
Like you actually have like global marketing experts
Right.
on your team.
On your team, and it's not it's not just about like the creative side of marketing.
Okay.
AI can also be used to optimize and automate various business operations. So think like fraud detection, inventory management, predicting like customer behavior, even things like personalizing pricing.
So AI is like becoming part of running the business.
It's becoming a really, really important part. Yeah, it is. It's like having like this super powered assistant who can take care of all the like the tedious tasks.
Right.
So you're freed up to focus on like the big picture stuff.
Strategy, innovation, the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Building like meaningful relationships with your customers.
So speaking of the future, like the blog post touched on some emerging AI trends, and I'm like excited and kind of scared at the same time.
Yeah.
It's moving really.
It's moving at warp speed.
Yeah.
Real-time translators are becoming even more sophisticated. Like the ones we've got now are already pretty amazing, but they're getting like insanely good AI-powered customer service chatbots.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting really good at like mimicking human conversation, which is kind of freaky,
It's a little freaky.
but also really cool. And then like the next generation of AI, headshot generators and illustration tools, they're making it easier than ever to create like hyper-realistic visuals.
It's almost like too much. Like where do we fit in?
That is the million-dollar question. Like it's really important to remember with all this talk about how powerful AI is a tool.
Right.
It's not a replacement for like human creativity and ingenuity.
So how do we like find that balance
Yeah.
between like AI's power and like keeping things authentic and human?
Right. That's the challenge, but it's also the opportunity. We need to become like masters of using AI to enhance our creativity, not, let it like dictate it, not let it take over.
Like I'm thinking about personalization again. AI can create these like super targeted messages.
Right.
But how do we make sure they don't feel like creepy?
Yeah, it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
I think the key is transparency.
Okay.
Be upfront about how you're using AIs. Let customers know that you're using their data to personalize their experience and give them the option to like opt out if they want to.
So it's about like being honest.
Yeah.
Respecting your audience.
Exactly. And it's important to remember like AI, it's not a magic bullet. It's not going to solve all your problems.
It's not gonna like do all the work for us.
Right, exactly. It can automate tasks and generate content, but it can't replace like human intuition,
Right.
empathy, and the ability to tell like compelling stories that really connect with people.
We still need that like human spark.
Yeah.
Like that emotional connection.
Exactly. And I think the most successful AI-powered marketing campaigns are going to be the ones that like seamlessly blend the power of technology with like the art of human storytelling.
It's almost like a partnership.
It is, yeah, it's a partnership.
Wow, this has been such an interesting conversation.
Yeah, it has.
I think it's clear that like AI is not just some like fad. It's like it's here to stay.
It's here to stay.
And it's gonna change everything.
Yeah, and we're only like at the very beginning. As AI keeps like evolving, the possibilities are like endless. It's kind of exciting.
It's very exciting. Okay, deep divers. We've covered a lot of ground here. Real world examples, challenges, opportunities.
Right, but there's like one crucial piece missing, right?
What's that?
You, our listener, you are the most important piece of this puzzle.
So in the final part of our deep dive, we're gonna explore like how you can actually use these insights, apply them to your work, and like start navigating this crazy, exciting world of AI powered marketing. Okay, so we're back for the final part of this AI marketing deep dive, and we've explored the technology, talked about what it can do, even touched on some like potential downsides.
Right, but now it's time to make this like actually useful, for you, the listener.
Exactly. Like, so what if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, this is all cool, but where do I even start?
Right.
Like, how do I bring AI into my work without it feeling overwhelming?
Well, first of all, like get rid of this idea that you need like a huge budget or like a degree in computer science to use this stuff.
Right.
There are tons of AI tools out there that are specifically designed for like regular marketers.
Yeah.
Many of them even have like free trials or basic plans you can start with.
Like the ones we've been talking about, like Deep AI and freebeat.ai.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was checking out their websites, and honestly, they're surprisingly easy to use.
That's the trend. AI is becoming more and more accessible. It's not this like exclusive thing anymore.
So it's less about like knowing how to code and more about knowing like what questions to ask the AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Think of it like you've got like a super efficient intern. They can do all the like tedious work. But you've got to tell them what to do.
I like that. That's a really good analogy.
Right.
I think a lot of marketers worry that like AI is going to replace them.
Right.
Not help them.
Yeah, no, it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about like AI amplifying your skills, not replacing them.
Okay.
So imagine you're like writing a marketing campaign and you get like writer's block.
Oh, yeah.
Happens to the best of us.
All the time.
Now you can literally ask an AI to like generate headlines, taglines, even like bullet points based on your target audience.
It's like having a brainstorming buddy who never runs out of ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Always there to bounce ideas off of.
But how do we make sure that what the AI comes up with like actually sounds like our brand?
Right, and that's where your expertise comes in.
Right.
You're curating the AI's output, you're editing it, you're refining it, you're making sure it like truly reflects your brand's voice and tone.
So we're not just like passively accepting whatever the AI spits out.
No, you're very much in control.
We're still the creative force.
Absolutely. Yeah, think of it like the AI is providing the raw materials and you're the artist, shaping those materials into something beautiful and unique.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And this applies to more than just like content creation, right?
Oh, absolutely. AI can analyze all sorts of data from your campaigns, tell you what's working, what's not,
Okay.
even suggest like tweaks to your strategy based on that data.
Like having like real-time feedback constantly.
Exactly. You don't have to wait weeks for reports anymore. You can adapt and optimize as you go.
That's incredible. But, and we talked about this before, personalization can be tricky.
Yes, it is.
Like, how do we make sure we're not crossing the line, making people feel like we're spying on them?
Yeah, no, I think the key is just to be transparent about it.
Okay.
If you're using AI to personalize emails or recommend products, just tell people.
Yeah.
Like, say something like, hey, based on your past purchases, we thought you might like this,
Okay.
It feels more helpful that way, not creepy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And always give people the option to opt out. They should be in control of their data and their experience.
It's about respect.
Exactly. And also, like, remember that AI is not the answer to everything. everything.
Right.
Not every single interaction needs to be hyper personalized.
Yeah.
Sometimes a simple, genuine message, a funny observation, that human touch, that's what really connects with people.
So it's about using AI where it makes sense,
Right.
but not letting it like overshadow the human element of our brand.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And as you start experimenting with AI, just remember it's a learning process.
Yeah.
There's going to be a learning curve. So just like try things out, see what works for your brand. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
That's great advice.
Yeah, and have some fun with it.
Yeah, I think that's the perfect note to end on. Embracing what AI can do, staying true to your brand, and having some fun along the way.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI marketing. It's been a wild ride, to say the least.
It has.
And I'm excited to see what the future holds for AI and marketing and like all of it.
Me too. It's going to be an interesting journey.
It is. Thanks everyone for listening.